What's going on, guys? This is Evan, the Xenogears enthusiast, bringing you a gameplay commentary for a set of domination games that will be over the same game from two different perspectives. I played, I think it was, on the 3rd of July, I played maybe 4 or 5 hours of Black Ops with some of the guys from Clan Ego, and I decided that I would sort of do like a live speak, but I didn't record. I wasn't set up at the time. It was like a last-minute decision, so I wasn't actually ready to prepare like my own in-game conversation, which I apologize for. It's kind of lame, but I figured I'd go ahead and share these with you guys. You'll hear the commentary of some of my clan mates from Clan Ego, and we're not really a clan, by the way. I'm using that term loosely. I sort of explained that in the first Clan Ego video. But we had a good time. Not so much this match. We had sort of a lousy match on domination. So we're sort of inspired by Egoxeno. If you don't know him, he's a big commentator on YouTube and one of my personal favorites. He puts pretty funny content out, and he seems like a genuinely good guy. Anyway, if you haven't seen him, go check out Egoxeno. He's good stuff. But while you're here, you should watch the rest of this video for sure. This is obviously Crisis, which is in my top 3 least favorite maps on Black Ops, because everything about it is terrible. And I could get into at length about that, but I don't really feel like discussing map design, because that's just a matter of preference. But objectively, even objectively, I would have to say this map sucks. But anyway, we'll move on. We sort of came in, as I was saying, inspired by Egoxeno to do sort of like me and my buddy were both going to run around the Olympias all game. Originally, there were 3 of us running around the Olympias, but Lucius, he's one of the players in this game. You'll see probably on screen from time to time. He just hates the Olympia, and he's pretty much awful with it. So he just opted out of using it entirely, and that was fine. But Sorokin here and Sorokin, that's who we're watching right now. Sorokin and, of course, myself, Egoxeno, we are both running around with Olympias. I have Marathon Pro, he doesn't yet, but I'm on 15th Prestige, so I had the time to get it. He does have Second Chance Pro, though, which I just can't seem to get. Anyway, we both had sort of a lousy game here, but we got plenty of captures to defend, and that's really what domination's about. Something I want to talk on briefly while we've got this video here. When Modern Warfare 3 comes out, which I do have reserved, I'm very excited for it. A lot of high hopes, especially with some of the letdowns of this game and Modern Warfare 2, and I think maybe Modern Warfare 3 will bring all the good from both games in just one title, and it'll just be a great time. So, I'm looking towards the future for Modern Warfare 3, but while we're still stuck with Black Ops and all its imperfections, I want to talk about sort of KDR. I'm over it now. I really am. Today I was playing some Black Ops, and I was getting really raged at the game. I was having some 3-bar badness, then I kept quitting out or dashboarding. I usually dashboard games that are 3-bar right at the start. I don't play them halfway through, realize I'm not doing well, then dashboard. I dashboard right at the start, and I was like, why am I dashboarding? It takes even longer to get out of the game. Some of that was to save time on your contracts. You lose like a couple seconds trying to get out, or, Anyway, the point is, I'm just so over kill death, and I am so over win-loss, because I don't play with a party very much. I'm fortunate when I can play with a large party, so win-loss is not something I can really keep track of, and kill-death ratio only matters in Team Deathmatch. And when I first played Black Ops, I almost played Team Deathmatch almost exclusively, but then I started playing objective game types, and my KDR has just plummeted ever since, and really that's not a big deal to me. Naturally, it's going to be tough to maintain good stats when you're trying to play the objectives, and running towards flags gets you killed. So really, to me, KDR is only relevant if you can get if my stats page had a different KDR for Team Deathmatch, I'd be fine with that. Not to say I want people to have like a 5.0 KDR in TDM, but if you're going to play Team Deathmatch and you're not going positive, you are doing it wrong. Whoever you are, no matter how good or bad you are in other game modes, you cannot go negative in Team Deathmatch. It's not acceptable. Now, I'm not to say people don't have bad games. I go negative in Team Deathmatch, but if you consistently go negative in Team Deathmatch, you need to improve your game. You really do. Oh, and you'll notice that Sorokin here, he got frustrated with the way things were going, so he switched on over to his Tube Infield class with RPGs and Second Chance Pro, all-in win. But I know this team was really campy, particularly for him. He got bad luck where he got shot in the back a lot, and I felt bad for him. I wanted to upload it to show you that I can promise that I play with Sorokin a lot. He's played on my account, whatever. Anyway, He's a pretty decent player, and this is just to show you can be a decent player and have bad games. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But at the same time, you know, I'm just over the kill death because dashboarding protects your KDR. Dashboarding protects your win-loss if you really want it to. So really, you can inflate and adjust your stats as much as you're willing to put up with it. And I'm just over it. I think even in objective games, a person should have a positive KDR. So my objective now is to never go negative in any game ever. I mean, it's going to happen sometimes, but if I'm going positive, that's great. Because when I first started this channel, which was, almost a year ago now, I'm still not big, and that's fine. Speaking of that, if you're watching this video, if you could take the time to like it so I can maybe get some more people like yourself watching it, that'd be great. But enough about that. When I first started this, I had some really campy gameplay with like the M16 ACOG, and I think you have to play to your weapon. I mean, you shouldn't be running around with the M16, but it got to the point where I was clearly just afraid to move because I knew I'd probably die, and I captured very little flags. I defended some flags. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is that it was worrying about my kill death. When I first got into the Call of Duty series, I never worried about my kill death because I just didn't care. It was just so casual and bad. It just wouldn't matter. So I figured I'd start using my KDR as like as a way to get better. But I've excelled. Excelled. That's not what I mean. Can't find the right word. I've improved and become more aware of Call of Duty, and I know what's going on now. But I don't need like kill death to indicate how good I am at the game. I can just play the game and understand where I am, and the amount of time I put into this game and stuff like that sort of necessitates where I'll probably be for the rest of my Call of Duty games. I'm not going to play this competitively. I'm not always going to use the best guns. I like to use really bad guns like the Olympia. I love the Olympia in this game, not so much the Mini Uzi. The Mini Uzi and the Olympia are probably like two of the worst weapons in the game, but I don't use the Mini Uzi because that's too bad even for me. I do, however, use the RPK quite a bit. My total kills with it are low. That's just because getting kills with it for me, period, is hard because, well, the RPK sucks. We had some RPK brother games. Like we're 3 people on our team. We're all running around with RPKs for a little bit, and that was fun. I actually had some pretty good gameplay with the RPK. I'll probably upload later, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to try to put out sort of content, and I'm just going to change my playstyle, even stuff I don't commentate. I'm just going to try. Like there's going to be times when I'm in a mood just to camp up the dogs, but like in objective games, I'm going to actually try to get flags and stuff. I mean, you can get dogs and stuff running around. Maybe not as consistently, but you get a higher score per minute and stuff like that. Being a stats freak on Call of Duty, I don't think will get you very far. But maybe once the COD Elite service comes out, there'll be even more of that. Which, by the way, I'm not going to purchase. Someone had asked me if they'd had dedicated servers with COD Elite, would I get it? I'm like, no. Back to that point, I might just have to quit Call of Duty. The lack of dedicated servers in these games really is extra sad, because I think we can all agree that as much as I love Call of Duty, and I think everyone watching this video probably does too, there's a lot of recycled, reused things that make the series good. I mean, the fact that there are being recycled is the fact that makes them good, so I'm a big fan, but the lack of dedicated servers is getting sort of unexcusable. If low-budget games like Homefront are getting them, Homefront was a pretty bad exploration of the FPS genre, and you know, the Battlefield series, which is highly acclaimed, and the new Battlefield game is trying to strike as, you know, a big contender in the Call of Duty, or I want to say Call of Duty market. It really should be first-person shooter market, but I think you know what I mean. But yeah, they really need dedicated servers just to keep competitive on the market, I think. I mean, Modern Warfare 3 will sell either way. I'm convinced of that, but it's possible that if Modern Warfare 3 doesn't have dedicated servers, Battlefield turns out to be as good as it looks, people might finally sort of start checking out on this series a little bit. I know people are getting tired of it. A lot of my friends are giving up Black Ops, just lack of things to do, and I think gameplay like this that I'm uploading from my buddy here kind of shows why he gets frustrated. You know, he keeps getting killed from behind, everybody ghost campers, and I don't know. I try not to complain because I do enjoy Black Ops. I mean, the game really gets my blood going sometimes. It, you know, like Black Ops brings out the worst in me because in Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4, which I didn't play very much, I didn't care about my KDR very much, so I started thinking maybe it's because I'm caring about my KDR in Black Ops, so I stopped caring about my KDR so much. But no, I still get angry just because of the way the game handles. The weapon balance is terrible and the variation is off. And I could complain for days, but the fact is I've got 16, no that's an exaggeration, I have like 15-ish days played for Call of Duty Black Ops, so I got my money's worth. The DLC packs were a bit of a rip, considering I don't like most of the new maps anyway. I should have not bought them, but you know, whatever. Plenty to complain about, but all in all, I am a big fan of Call of Duty Black Ops, but I'm ready for something new, so let's just move past it. So sort of on that video, what are you guys hoping for Modern Warfare 3? I see a lot of people have like random thoughts and wishes, but what do you guys think would actually make a good Modern Warfare 3? Like people are saying that they want more gun damage. I'm like, no, I actually like the way Black Ops does. Ooh, my buddy got napalmed. I like the way Black Ops does the gun damage, but you know, you can survive a long retreat from battles. You know, let's not even get into that. This is obviously the same game, but from my perspective. But honestly, let's just not get into Modern Warfare 3, because that's more of a conversation you want to have with an active dialogue, and because I don't get a lot of people don't post on these videos, it would be hard for me to do an active dialogue about Modern Warfare 3. So let me just put it this way: if anyone has any thoughts on Modern Warfare 3, they want to shoot the crap about, you know, I'll talk about them on Xbox Live, or you know, on the comments, you know, whatever. I'm interested to talk about Modern Warfare 3 wish list. So if you guys want to talk about that, hit me up. But you'll notice that I'm using the Olympia, so I'll sort of describe how I use the Olympia now, because I've used the Olympia enough to sort of comment on how I think it should be used. It's actually a fairly viable weapon. I mean, it's a terrible weapon, but it's... Excuse me, I'm throwing tomahawks for fun, clearly. Oh, I got a bank... I didn't know there was a bank shot. Wow. Anyway, the reason it's kind of a viable domination weapon is... There's going to be a lot of people going for... As long as you're going for flags, it works. If you're trying to beat big kill streaks with it, it's terrible, but my strategy this whole match will just be to keep spawning in with Marathon and just running towards flags. My setup changes for TDM and stuff, but you know, if you're going to use it for domination, which is probably the best game mode for the Olympia, Flak Jacket is a must. Marathon Pro or Marathon is great to help you get to the flags faster, and Sleight of Hand is an absolute must with any Olympia class ever. If you're using steady aim, you're doing it wrong. I'm 99% sure. I mean, to each his own, but I have used the Olympia extensively, more than my stats page reflects, because I use the Olympia on other people's accounts, because all my friends and I, we all share accounts. That's why KDR matters even less for me. But, you know, when you're running around with the Olympia, you only get 2 shots, of course. That's sort of the hallmark of the gun, and they're high damage, but they have weird hit marker issues, and sometimes you just don't get kills you deserve. So, ooh, double backstab. So, or no, 1 backstab and 1 side knife. You know, when I'm trying to get like that backstab contract, it can usually take me almost the full 40 minutes, because I'll knife people, but I have to be really particular, otherwise it doesn't call it like a backstab. I hate it. I had to talk to Only Use Me Blade, who has no idea who I am, but he's another big content on YouTube, and he knifes so much that I just wanted to ask him, like, dude, where does the knife have to be to get a backstab? Do you know? Because I haven't had anybody else like conclusively tell me. I haven't been able to find it for myself. See, Flak Jacket saves me there. But for domination, you have to run Flak Jacket because people throw nades like candy at flags. They die, respawn, and throw nades, which is a good strategy. But you know, you have to run Flak Jacket. So if you're going to capture flags like I am, which is to jump right on them and just sit there, and you know, you just have to be prepared. Oh, look at this guy. Throughout the game, there's going to be guys sitting there. They're either going to be like in a stakeout, or it's just lame. I cannot check every corner ever before they shoot me. There's just no way. But some of the things that I see people do badly with the Olympia is they use steady aim, which is a terrible idea. Even pro, it's bad, because you're going to get in engagements that have more than 1 person, and it's really important that you can reload and get extra shots. Or in my case, sometimes I'll double blast somebody with the Olympia. They don't die. I'm sure their screen turns blood red, but they're still alive, and I have to retreat and pull up the pistols. I don't think I use a secondary on the Olympia anymore. You're supposed to use dual pythons for sure. Easily the best secondary for this class, but I think I've been using like Strellas and ballistic knives and stuff for fun. But after you get the double hit marks, you can sometimes retreat, double reload quick and get them again. And just the ADS is important. This thing is kind of lousy from the hip. If someone's like running straight at you and you just blast them from the hip, you'll probably kill them. But you know, you're just much better off if you ADS, and getting any kind of like range shot requires ADS to get the spread tight enough to get people. And the faster aim after sprinting is not very helpful, because the way this weapon works is if they're running right at you or they're like point blank, just shoot them from the hip. But if they're, you know, a couple feet away from you, then you need to scope up and double barrel. If you're not 100% sure that they're going to die in 1 shot, always use both barrels. which pretty much means to me always use both barrels on anybody ever. Like, if you come up behind somebody, single barrel them, but beyond something like that, I think it's always a good idea to double barrel your enemy, because odds are, using the Olympia, you're going to die before you exhaust all your shells, and if you're running out of ammo, whatever you pick up is probably better. So conserving ammo with this thing is pointless. I could, you see, now that guy right there, I could have had him if I just Olympia'd him, but I'm stupid and I'm sort of tomahawk crazy and I wanted my tomahawk kill. You'd think I'd be good with tomahawks, but I'm actually terrible. In terms of using the Olympia outside of domination for like team deathmatch, not a very strong choice. You pretty much have to defend an area to do well, but if you just want to run around with it, stay towards the corners of the map or stay towards lots of cover. There's not a lot of lines of sight on you. Try to avoid the places you know people are going to be pre-scoping, camping. I mean, do that with any class, but the Olympia in particular, because you often can't shoot back. In team deathmatch, I actually change my excuse me, can't talk. Change my setup. My first perk is very rarely flat check unless there's a lot of people running around with like tubes, but then I flat check at anything. But no, normally that was a nice little triple there. I guess it was I get 4 people right there? I don't know, 3. Anyway, a nice little clip there, but typically I use lightweight for TDM just to move in on people. There's a lot of campers in TDM, so flashbangs are a must for me. They're on Tactical Mass Pro, so when I stun somebody with a nade, I know exactly where they are and I can kill them. So it's hard for me to describe like Olympia tips because it's just not a very strong weapon, and a lot of it just has to do with reflexes and getting the shots off, and just hoping that you don't get really bad hit markers that screw you. See, look at that guy. I know it's my fault I didn't kill him, but I scoped up on point blank with the Olympian, fired. He didn't die. And I'm like, really? Of course, that guy just gets me. When you're using bad weapons, and I know this very well, it's I didn't get the points. When you're using the this is gonna be a cool little battle here. Or maybe not, I don't know. There was a big spray down at some point in the game that I really liked. But it's really important that you're using bad weapons, you keep in mind you're using a bad weapon. Not to excuse your game performance, but rather to keep things in perspective. You're going to lose fights that you probably perceive that you deserve to win. And that guy's a jerk. I don't mind people defending positions. I defend positions a lot. I don't mind people camping or whatever, but corner campers make me angry. And campers that aren't really even actively challenging the opponent make me angry. Like, they're not trying to get action, they're trying to avoid it. That's so lame. Which is an easy way to get a really nice KDR, by the way. If that is your biggest concern ever, just camp in corners and get like 3 or 4 kills a game, then just don't get any more kills. You get a great KDR over time, but it's just a really boring way to play, and I'm a recovering addict from that kind of gameplay, and I'm just excited that I've moved past that now. I'm past the KDR, and if you guys ever see me like a live commentary, which I intend to do like a live stream for Modern Warfare 3 or something like that, something to maybe spruce the channel up a little bit, but if I ever get to that and I start complaining about my KDR, just remind me that it's a pointless stat, because sometimes I forget, sometimes I get in moods where it's important to me that my stats are impressive, and probably that's because I commentate now, very casually, as you guys know. I'm not big and I'm not aspiring, blah 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 blah, but the point is, like, dude, I don't want you guys to think I'm bad at this game. I don't want you guys to think I'm, like, this pro, but I think everyone wants a commentator who's just outright awful, so I've had a lot of people, I had a couple people send me messages like, dude, you're terrible, don't commentate unless you know how to play. And you have to expect that at any level of, when you put yourself out there like this, but I don't know, I'd like to think that, I'm not a bad player. I'd like to think that people can, like, respect my playing, like, I could be on their team and they'd feel pretty confident to have me. I don't know. That's something I never asked from the comments. Maybe I should ask about that instead of asking for feedback on like the commentary. What do you guys think of my gameplay? And I ask that if you're gonna review that, use this gameplay and other gameplays I have. Don't just take one isolated bad gameplay. Sort of look at everything I post. And just so everyone knows, I don't cherry pick my game players or my commentaries. I upload games that I enjoyed playing or games that I really did enjoy playing. Typically, the gameplays that get the biggest emotional response out of me are the ones that I post. So I don't always cherry pick like, my crazy, everyone gets the 112 kills, 2 deaths on Nuketown with chopper gunners and dogs kind of thing. Also, I'm trying out the different SMGs. I posted the Spectre gameplay. I'm a big fan of the Spectre now, and I'm trying to get the Kaparis down. I don't think it's as bad as people want to believe, but it's definitely, once again, another one of those underpowered weapons. And wow, Just couldn't get that sniper down. There are people quickscoping in this game here. That's sort of coming back a lot of Black Ops, I noticed, and that's fine. I get mad when I get quickscope, but at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me nearly as much as the fact you play against entire teams of all assault rifle. You know, for Modern Warfare 3, I just really hope that they up the shotguns. Like, I think in Black Ops, like the stakeout, I think it pretty much should have the spaz range. It cocks a lot slower than the spaz, at least to me, so... You know, I'd be all about that. Give it less range, that would be cool. Or give it the same range, give it slower. I don't know, I think this... I don't mean the spaz from this game, I mean the spaz from Modern Warfare 2. Give it, like, spaz range, and that'd be good. Be a lot more viable. The Olympia to me should be like a guaranteed kill. They shouldn't even get hit markers with this thing. If you even tap them with it at close range, they should be gone. Oh, I should have shot the ballistic knife at that guy. That would have been sweet. But I didn't. So what have you. Bad shotguns. Most of the SMGs are bad. Great ARs. Sounds like a Call of Duty game. And I find that these things only bother me near the end of the game's life cycle. So when I stop using the good stuff and I want to start using the bad stuff to keep myself entertained. Anyway, that's the end of the commentary. This is my first recording. I'm not going to do another one, so I'm going to stutter and use the wrong word a couple times. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, please comment if you enjoyed or if you didn't. Either way, it's been good, and I'll talk to you guys later. And imagine that, there's a FAMAS in the final kill cam. That must be a rarity.